Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. So in this video, I'm going to be taking you through the particular steps that I usually follow when I'm going to buy a new camera or when I'm asked which camera should I buy. So there are different steps or there are different questions that I usually ask people when they ask me which camera should they buy. So at the end of this video, you'll be able to decide on which camera you'll be buying without being misled. So let us roll the intro and dive straight into this video. Usually this question is asked by people who are looking to either upgrade their camera from one to the other, or even it is usually asked by people who are planning to buy their first camera, or even it is asked by people who are planning to set up a video company or even a photo company. So the first question I usually ask people to be sure of which camera I should recommend to them is, how much money do you have in the pocket? Why this is very important. At times, the money you have in the pocket decides which camera you have. You might have money that will give you a nice camera when you decide to look for a second-hand camera, or even you might have a certain budget and then it can give you a better camera that is new. So I usually ask people how much money do they have, or even what is their budget for a camera. Now, by me asking them which budget do they have for that particular camera or even for a camera, that enables me to understand or even to look at the list of cameras that fit in that particular budget. Now, the second question I usually ask people when they ask me which camera should I buy is, what is the purpose of this particular camera, or what are they going to use this camera for? Now, there are people who would like to buy camera to just take pictures for family, or even there are people who are aspiring to buy a camera when the purpose they are going to use it is for video. Now, there are usually different cameras that I recommend if someone is looking at doing video, and even there are different cameras that I recommend when someone is just looking at it being for only photography, or even there is a list of cameras that can do both video and photos. So by me understanding the purpose this person wants to use this camera for, it enables me to look in the list of cameras that fit in that particular purpose. At times there are people who would like to buy cameras depending on the people they follow. So at times I also ask people, which people do you follow, or even what has inspired you to wish to buy a camera? That is because when a person is following a certain influential person, they are expecting to get a camera that will give them results that are very close to that person's results. So I usually ask them, which person do you follow, or what has inspired you to buy a camera or to wish to buy a camera? That enables me to look at that person's videos or even content to enable me understand which particular camera that person uses, and then that gives me a clear image to recommend a camera that this person or even this client would buy without misleading them. Because at the end of the day, if you decide to make them any option that doesn't give them particular results that they are aiming at, then they are going to be very mad at you. So I usually ask people, which person inspires you to buy a camera, or who has inspired you to wish to buy a camera? And then from that person I can be able to understand which camera is good for this particular person who would like to buy a camera. The next thing I usually ask people is, which brands are you looking at? Now, this enables me to understand which camera is best in that particular lineup of the brand. There are people whose favorite brands are either Canon, Sony, Nikon, and even other brands. So if you recommend a Canon camera for whose favorite brand is Sony, that person is not going to be happy with your recommendation. So you need to also ask this person, what is your favorite brand in the companies that are making cameras? So when you understand that this person likes Sony cameras, then this will enable you to have an image or even a clear image of which camera you can be able to recommend in the lineup of the Sony cameras. If this person likes Canon cameras, that will give you a clear image to understand which particular camera in the lineup of the Canon cameras you can be able to recommend. After me understanding those different principles, I usually advise people to not buy cameras depending on YouTube videos. Why this is important is most of the videos that you see on YouTube or even on social media, they are promoted, or even people who make these particular videos are paid to talk good about these particular cameras. So if you need to buy a camera, you need to consult as many people so that you don't end up buying a camera because you saw it on YouTube, and then at the end of the day you're not getting a camera that is not going to serve the purpose that you really wish it to serve. To give you an example, most of the action cameras, when they are being promoted on social media, they prove to you that their image competes with DSLR cameras or even the video cameras, yet in actual sense, when you buy this particular camera, their image quality doesn't really compete with these particular cameras. So I really advise you to not buy cameras depending on the videos you have seen online. Don't buy cameras that have been introduced to the market in that particular year. Why this is very important? Usually when a camera is introduced on the market, some of these cameras at times they lack upgrades, or even they lack certain sections in the setting menu, or even they need upgrades that are not yet introduced. So why I usually advise people to buy cameras that have been introduced in the past years is because there is always so much information about those particular camera that you can trust, or even that you can rely on. And even once a camera has stayed on the market for a very long period of time, the prices tend to go down. So I advise you to buy cameras that are not new on the market. This enables you to buy cameras that will serve the purpose that you're aiming at. For me, some of the brands that I'm really into, I like Blackmagic cameras. The reason as why I like Blackmagic cameras is because their dynamic range is really nice and it fits in my workflow. But also, I use the Fuji TX4 to film these particular YouTube videos. Why I like this particular camera is because it enables me to shoot flat. If I'm not close to a Fuji camera, I usually go for a Sony A7 III. Why I like that particular camera is because that is one of the cameras that also gives me a nice image quality, and those particular cameras, the Fuji and the Sony, they are able to do video and photos. And why I like the image for these two cameras, first and foremost, their images are sharp. But also, when I'm not recommending those two cameras, I usually recommend the Canon cameras. Why I recommend Canon cameras is because those cameras, for someone who is looking to buy cameras, or even who is a beginner, their menu is very simple to master, but also there are a lot of content that will teach you about Canon cameras. And also I feel that the prices for the Canon cameras is a bit low compared to the Fuji and also compared to the Sony cameras. Thank you guys for watching this video. My name is Pius Jagenda. I advise you to like and subscribe to this channel because that supports this channel to grow. In case you have any question, I advise you to comment it in the comment section below. And then also I would like you to tell me which camera are you looking at buying. I'll see you guys in the next video, and peace.